The accumulation of all of these little parts that leads to a much bigger outcome. They're all related and they boost each other up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SOTA Personal Training Podcast. We help busy adults get strong and fit. I am Sean, one of your hosts. I am a certified real person on an internet full of bots and ChatGPT and AI. And Phil, my co-host here, actually, he barely still falls into the certified real person category, because you use ChatGPT for a lot of stuff, right?
I'm an Android.
You're an Android.
But you have an Android phone.
I do.
Yeah.
It's right here for the viewers.
I should have never told you I'd use ChatGPT even once.
I know.
I like it. No, keep it coming.
Yep. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about healthy habits that people often forget about. And I don't know, do you want to dive into this?
I would love to. I think the thing I want to drive home with this is the things that get overlooked and the things that came immediately to mind when we talked about doing this topic is that they're the ones that are so easy to do that we don't do them. Like they're almost too accessible, so it's easy to let them slide. So that's kind of how I'm going into this based on, the thousands of hours of training people. The things that get overlooked very easily, that have a lot of weight to people's performance and how they feel and their ultimate results. Yeah.
And I think, without doing this in any particular order, the big one I'm just going to say is drinking water. People just don't drink water.
Yeah.
You talked about that. You see that all the time. As people come in here at 5 p.m. for a session, like, how much water have you been drinking today? Oh, I think I just had coffee and then, maybe like a soda for lunch, right?
Yeah, people don't even know.
Yeah.
So that happens way too often. And the simple recommendation is half your body weight in fluid ounces is a good ballpark. For some people, it's good to just shoot for a gallon because that maybe is an overshot of how much they need, but then they're going to be closer to it even if they don't get that gallon. But yeah, that's a huge, very, very easy one. But once we get up and we start working, people and I do this too sometimes, we just forget to keep it by us and to focus on it.
Yeah. And I don't even really like to think about it in terms of the ounces, if you're like, I don't want to do math, whatever. You don't have to measure how many ounces of water you're drinking, but just wake up and drink some freaking water. Yeah. That's the main thing,
Start in the morning and just, if you keep it by you, I am almost sure of it 100% that you will drink close to the right amount if you just keep it by you. Because as you're in your daily grind and routine, if it's there, this is kind of the whole psychology of habits. Just keep it there, make it really easy, and you will probably just do it without thinking about it. But you got to keep it by you. So get a really nice, metal lined water container that has 28 to 32 ounces and just drink a few of those. It's that simple.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that most of these habits that we're going to talk about fall into that category of things that are really easy as long as you don't have to think about it, or
I would say so. I think it's usually the accumulation of all of these little parts that leads to a much bigger outcome. The sum is greater than the equal of its parts kind of thing. And they all help support each other. Like a lot of this stuff with health and fitness, they're all related and they boost each other up. If you're hydrated, you are more full, so you intend to eat closer to the right amounts without having to think about it. Water helps with blood pressure and all sorts of things that help your performance in the gym, but just in general, throughout the day, we need water.
Yeah. And just to a point that you just made is, the cumulative effect of all these little habits. I would actually argue, this is a point that I want to hammer home here, that the effect of these cumulative little habits that we're going to talk about has much more of a greater impact on your overall health and fitness, your body composition, than the workout that you do in the gym, for example, being the main thing. Because people, a lot of times they come find us, they pay for personal training, right? And not to try to turn all of our clients away, but ultimately what we do here in the gym is 2 to 3 hours out of your 168-hour week. That's great. We can make a lot of progress in here, then help you out in a lot of ways. But what happens during those other 165, 166 hours? It's all these little habits that have a massive impact.
Yep. That's where you spend most of your time. Those are the systems. So we can't walk in here 2, maybe 3 days out of the week and expect everything to change. What we can do is help you, maintain and maybe grow some lean muscle, but how you feel and how you operate, that is all largely determined by all of those little habits outside of the gym.
Do you have another one that you want to jump into, or should we just kind of keep going down this little list of ones that I want to talk about?
Yeah, crank another one out if you got one ready.
Yeah. Okay, well, so I want to talk about, this is like a broad general category, but I want to talk about bedtimes and wake up times, or I guess we'll call it sleep habits, okay? Sleep is a massive, massive topic. The more that you try to improve your health and fitness, the more you'll notice how much benefit you get from going to bed roughly the same time every night and waking up roughly the same time every morning, ideally without an alarm. I know that last part sounds crazy because some people are going to be like, well, how do I wake up if there's not an alarm, right? Yeah. But if you really take care of your health and fitness, you'll eventually try to be able to get enough sleep where you don't need the alarm to wake up, okay? Maybe it won't be perfect, but you get my point. Now, how do you do that? Well, for most people, getting to bed a little bit earlier would be beneficial. I know that there's some, some people are morning, night owls and morning larks, right? There's some weight to that theory that people are more like morning people versus night people.
Yeah.
But in general, most people in modern society would probably benefit from going to bed a little bit earlier, right? If you're the average person who's, going to bed at 11:30 or midnight or later, whatever, you would probably benefit from getting to bed by 10 or 10:30 p.m. most nights. And what this usually looks like, assuming that you have a regular job where you're only working until 5, 6 p.m., whatever, it usually just looks like shutting down the electronics and the stuff like that has all these loud noises and bright lights in your head until 11 p.m. Shut that down around 9 or 10 p.m. and you'll be out a lot faster than you think.
Yes.
I could ramble on sleep for a while, but what do you want to throw in on this topic?
Yeah, no, that's good. All of that external stimulus, it's the blue light, all this stuff, it automatically makes it harder to fall asleep because it is wiring us for, this blue light thing. And like, there's a lot of science to this. It's really there. So I have a list, and maybe I can just chip away at this, just give people some quick actionable tips, but I have like this ultimate guide to better sleep that we put together a long time ago. Do you mind if I share that?
First shameless promotion of our products and services. Go ahead, Phil. Yes, please.
If you work with us, we'll give you this guide for free. No, this is a free guide anyway. And it's probably not gonna be too shocking. There's a couple of weird ones that I think are a little in the weeds. But first one, dim the lights. So, turn the lights down. Like, you're telling your body, hey, it's about to go to sleep. I think this comes back to this like Paleolithic era of when the sun went down, it was night time. And now the lights are on and the TV is loud and we're watching some, Love is Blind show, and we're all bought in emotionally. Not me, of course. That's a big one. That leads into is cut the screen time. Like a few hours before bed, like grab a book. Like we got to get your, I know. What's a book?
Yeah. I'm sorry, go on.
Anecdotally, we were doing the Netflix thing a couple years ago, and like, I was sleeping like garbage. And I was like, I'm just going to start reading again. I haven't done it since I was a kid reading Harry Potter. And I was immersed in those books. And I was like, I'm just going to get this book looks interesting. And since then, I've probably read close to like 30 books in the last like couple of years, some really long. And I've dramatically improved my sleep just by going back to reading. And I'm pretty sure everyone would probably agree with that. That's not shocking.
Yeah. I'll let you continue with your list, but why don't you finish your list and then I'll dive into.
Avoid caffeine within 10 hours of bedtime. The half-life is such that a lot of times if you had in the afternoon, you're still going to have caffeine in your system, just makes it harder. Next one, create a bedtime routine. That's just like basically prepping yourself again. Like set your routine, brush my teeth, do a little stretching, do a little yoga, grab my book, have a cup of tea, whatever it is that helps tell you that that's your pre-sleeping routine. Yeah.
Yeah. And are you still going? Or
there's 3 more quick ones.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. And then I'll
warm your hands and feet.
Warm your hands and feet. Whoa.
This is one that was like, it was like research based. And like that one, I don't know. You can try it, but wear gloves and socks. I haven't tried that one. Cooling the room down to between 60 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That is a big one. Again, that's well studied. And then try meditation or breath work before bed to relieve stress and anxiety. I would add one quick note to that one is like journaling. There's this idea of what I didn't make this term, but something called head trash, right? Where you're worried about what we have to do the next day, and that sits in our head.
Yes.
And that messes me up a ton. I'm like, I get up and I do this and this and this. And what else do I have to do? Just writing that stuff down, even next to your bed, so you can like offload that, right? Get that data and put it in the hard drive on the piece of paper, so you can sleep easier. And then you get up and you can go back into that mode. That's I guess the idea of journaling. But for me, it's just like a task list, and that helps me out a ton
to get it out of your head. Yes.
Oh shoot, there's 2 more, but I forgot they're on the other side.
The other side of what?
This page. It was a different color.
Okay.
Last couple. Give yourself a consistent 8-hour window. It kind of goes along the same thing in the wake sleep cycle. And then avoid alcohol and larger meals before bed. That digestion can implicate your sleep as well. Definitely alcohol. We just had someone who came in yesterday, and she's like, haven't drank since January 1st. And oh my goodness, she's like, it is night and day difference. No pun intended, but it has a big effect. It robs you of the deep sleep cycles, and marijuana too. So just, have some water and some tea.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh gosh, I want to go down so many of those paths that you just talked about.
Are there any you disagree with? No, that's finally done with the list.
No, really nothing that I disagree with at all. So the first thing that I want to say, and maybe some of our, clients who listen to this podcast will like appreciate this, because, they hear us talk about this and we're like, be boring, do all this stuff, read a book before bed and eat your protein, drink water, don't have alcohol, don't have fun, don't go out at night. They're going to be like, all right, cool, whatever. I will admit to everybody listening to this that I have very good morning routines, but I have terrible nighttime routines.
Do you really?
Yes. Now listen,
Ooh.
okay? I have terrible nighttime routines in the sense of I do not do any of that fancy stuff like meditating before bed, reading a book. Are you kidding me? What is this, 2008? I ain't gonna read a book. No. But I have very good morning routines, which then lead to me falling asleep like a baby either way. So I'm gonna explain to people like why, in spite of the fact that I don't do any of these good things at night, I still fall asleep like a baby right around 10 p.m. every night. Okay. So, because I know a lot of you were thinking the same thing. Like, forget it. I'm not reading a book. I just can't do it. I still want to be up on my devices, whatever. Right. So for me, these are some things that I discovered really 4 or 5 years ago and just stuck with them basically. Number one is the value of getting outside around sunrise in the early morning and trying to start your day with a workout. A morning workout and getting outside in the morning has a massive impact on the way you feel when you go to bed at night. Okay. Because when you get outside early in the morning to see the sunrise, the science will say that it resets the circadian rhythms.
Right.
And most of us live in this world where we never see the artificial light. We're just, indoors, or the natural light.
Right.
We're indoors with all these artificial lights all day long.
Yep.
So you get outside in the morning, the body thinks, oh, there's the sun rising over there. This must be morning. That means that, 14, 15 hours from now, I should be going to sleep to stay on this natural cycle. Okay. That's one thing. Another thing, like I said, the morning workout, just staying active throughout the day. Yep. If you lift heavy weights, particularly in the morning, and then don't sit on your butt all day, and you've been outside a little bit to see the light of day throughout the day at some point, it's very hard to stay awake until 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, you're going to be tired naturally by the end of the day. Okay. Yep. Now, the other key thing is, and I don't know, I know I talked to you about this. I don't know if you've used them or tried them, but blue light blocking glasses.
I got a pair over there. I just got 4 more pairs so I don't lose them.
Oh, okay. Very good. Yeah. Do you use them? Have you used them before bed? Or
I should, and I forget. Okay. It's like they're sitting right there, and then Katie comes in, and I'm one-eyeing it because I have some eye problems. But I need to wear them more. Sometimes they irritate me because it's not seeing the exact screen, and I'm weird, but no, I haven't noticed an effect, but I know that they are helpful for a number of reasons.
Yes. And so what blue light blocking glasses do is, the science says that they basically, when you're exposed to all this natural light, or this artificial light, from the devices, there we go. What's up? You got some blue light blockers?
There's nothing in this box.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody scammed you. Anyway, so what these blue light blocking glasses do is they block the blue light from the device. Now, this is a different brand. This is probably not like a nighttime brand. This is probably a daytime computer use brand, because these aren't the crazy orange, red tinted ones.
I didn't know there was a difference.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of different grades of them. You go look up, Dave Asprey, who I know you have different opinions on, but and he'll tell you all about it. But anyway, so those are probably like a computer daytime one that you're looking at there. But the nighttime ones in particular, as I understand it, block almost all of the blue light that's on this light spectrum. I'm, butchering the science of it here. But what it does is, since that blue light, when we're exposed to these phone, TV screens, computer screens, it disrupts the production of melatonin, which is the hormone that makes us sleepy. When we put on the blue light blocking glasses, we block out the blue light, and so we produce melatonin. Now, these glasses in general, even though nowadays they have some like cooler looking versions, you still look kind of like a dork, when you're sitting there with your orange glasses.
Definitely.
So like if you're already married in a relationship, you're good. You can go ahead and get these and your spouse will be like, okay, I guess I accept you. Yeah. Now, like if you're like Coach Blake and you're out there trying to date, you don't want to wear these in front of the women or men or whoever that you're dating. You're going to look like a total fitness dork. And unless someone else is in the same fitness space,
some
you're getting
biohacker.
rejected. Yeah, if it's another biohacker, then you can do it. Okay,
that's a match made in heaven. Actually, maybe they should.
I've done it.
Have you worn orange glasses out?
Oh, not out.
Oh, okay.
But I did wear orange glasses when so I was single in 2022, and I was dating this girl. She came back to my place, and I threw on my blue light blocking glasses at like 9, and that was the last date.
She's like, ooh,
yeah. Yep.
I didn't know this is what I was signing up for. Oh, next.
But the nice thing, so like. Back to my previous point, though, about how, what was it? So, like I said, I have terrible nighttime routines still to this day because I don't do any of like the reading, meditation, whatever. Like typically what happens before I go to bed is I put on my blue light blocking glasses at like 9:30-ish, right? Nana, my fiance, and I will be just like sitting on the couch, like, either watching some stupid TV show or I'm like watching something on my phone, like whatever. And no matter what, like it doesn't matter how stimulating the thing I'm watching is, I am out within like 30 minutes.
That's incredible.
No matter what, right? And so if you're that person that's like, I'm not going to give up my screens, whatever, get yourself some blue light blocking glasses and put them on within 30 minutes before you plan to go to bed.
Yeah.
And it's going to knock you out. You don't stay awake. It just doesn't happen, especially if you've been outside at some point during the day, and especially if you've worked out and you've moved your body.
Yep.
You just don't stay awake. Your body just goes to sleep.
Yep.
It's a massive difference. And actually, another reason I like to share this is because like in my own fitness journey, I was always kind of like kind of a skinny, scrawny guy naturally. And I put on about 20 pounds of muscle between age 30 and 34. And yeah, obviously I was working out hard and I was eating bonkers amounts of protein and calories. But two big elephants in the room. Number one is I gave up alcohol 4 years ago, which has a massive effect. And then number two, I started getting more into this idea of circadian rhythms and the body sleeping when it gets dark out and waking up at the same time every morning. You know what I mean? It has a huge effect on our body composition over time, our ability to burn muscle or build muscle and burn body fat.
Yep. I mean, sleep is the integral piece to everything else because that affects how we feel so much more than we actually pay attention to. Yeah. And cognitively, our decision making, they've done a ton of research that suggests that when we start to sleep less, we'll see our cognition go down, right? It's a little harder to think properly, a little brain fog, a little less productivity. But there's kind of a basement level, and it doesn't, how we feel has a basement level. Be like, I'm tired, but we can just do that. But our cognition, when they study this, they say cognition continues to decline, but we can't feel it anymore. We don't get more tired. We just get more stupid, I guess. So that is a long-standing issue that, that's a real thing that really needs to be addressed. Be like your decision making and all of your inhibitions, this is all affected by sleep. So if you can sleep better, you're more rested, you're going to also make several more decisions for your health without you having to think about it. It's going to be a lot harder to get to that workout if you are also fatigued after a long day. Yeah. For those of you that work out after work, that's a lot of people are like, end of the day, I'm toast at 5 p.m., you know? So the reason for that are there's a multitude, but sleep will help with that 100%.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, as we're going down this list of things, I mean, sleep is like this, the idea was to do, habits that people forget about, but so many of them can be related to sleep and affect the way you sleep, because if you sleep good in a world where most people sleep like shit, it's going to be once again, pun intended, a night and day difference in the way you do everything. The way you feel throughout the day, your ability to build and maintain muscle mass, maintain a low body fat percentage, aches and pains you have throughout your body, like you said, your decision making. I mean, sleep, good, proper sleep consistently will cure lots and lots of issues. Okay.
It should be a third of our life, right? So that's, I don't know, everyone's so busy, they want to do so many things. If there's two thoughts on this as we're talking. One is, if you consider yourself a morning person, we won't get into the whole idea of the genetics behind why we are the way we are in that sense. But if you're a morning person or a night owl, you can just probably do one of these two. You don't have to work on both spectrums. You don't have to have an immaculate bedtime routine and a fantastic science-backed morning routine. You can probably start with one that's easier, and I bet the other half of that, the other side, is going to be a lot easier too. If you have a good morning routine, you're probably going to be tired of bed and go to bed earlier. It's going to feed itself. It's a positive feedback loop. So, and the opposite is true as well. So, and the other thing I want to mention is, if you're listening to this so far, we've covered these big two that are very, very big. Staying hydrated and sleeping well, they are both completely free. How much is a pair of those blue blocking glasses? $20 on Amazon?
Yeah, I mean, the Amazon ones look even shittier. You look kind of like a kid in like a tech ed class in seventh grade. But like if you get like a $45 pair, you can look moderately cool. Like you still shouldn't wear them if you're dating a new person.
Yes.
But you can look decent in front of your current partner or spouse.
What date is it appropriate to bring out the?
This is a great question. Yeah.
Is there a number? Is it 6?
I think usually nowadays they say first kiss on the third date, maybe blue light blocking glasses on the fourth, maybe
like 400th or
no, fourth. If you've already gotten the kiss, Phil, who I shouldn't be talking to about this because you're married, but if Coach Blake has already gotten the kiss on the third date, he's free to use the blue blockers on the fourth. I believe we
should have him be our test subject and just get some data down.
Correct. Yes.
He's in the dating world right now, so if we say, all right, how'd it go? You took him out. Did she text you back? No. Weird.
Yeah.
So strange. Okay, good. Because this list I have is like really ways to get better at falling asleep, but there's not a list here I have for the waking portion. So I'm glad you brought that to the table because that is also really impactful. I think working out in the morning is absolutely the best option if you can. You're going to have a lot more energy.
Yeah.
And I'm not a morning person at 6. Can I work out at 6 a.m.? Like, you absolutely can. So don't have those self-limiting beliefs. You can do it. And you might, this is what happens to me, I often forget I've worked out. So if I work out really early, I'll go through my work day. I'm like, I still got to get that workout in. When am I going to do it? And I'm like, oh my God, I already did it. I have an extra 90 minutes of time now.
You work out for 90 minutes? Man, we need to talk about that. Who the heck needs 90 freaking minutes?
I go in the steam room. I do my box breathing. I take my sweet, sweet time. It's the only time I have to myself, Sean.
That's fair. Yeah.
There's one more thing I want to bring up about sleep for the parents, because this is something that maybe you realize, maybe you don't realize, the listeners here, is when you have children, when you wake up, if you don't wake up too far ahead of them and they're up with you, you are working, and then you get them to school or daycare, you're with them all day. Maybe that is work, right? And then you pick them up after work. There is no more time for ourselves. Yeah. So what a lot of parents will do is they will stay in this chronic, somewhat toxic cycle of kids are finally in bed and it's 10 o'clock. But I want some me time. And so we'll do really stupid stuff like sit on our phone and scroll, because it's like we've been on so much. We want to do something that like turns our brain off, which is definitely not supposed to be scrolling.
Sure,
but I encourage all of you to you got to stick it out. It won't be like that way forever. These are the narratives I play in my head because it's really hard. Sophia sometimes does not go to bed till like 11 o'clock because they let her nap too long at daycare. It's a big problem. But there's no time left. So Katie and I both are like, well, I want to do whatever. It doesn't matter. That's like the only time we have for ourselves. And then it's like sleep time. So it feels like you're borrowing from other things, and that can be really challenging. So do your best. Try to do in the morning. Work with your spouse, whoever else can help you, so you can still get your workouts and get some of that you time.
Nope. So third habit, don't have kids. First one was water. Second, sleep. What else? Sorry, I'm just kidding.
No,
kidding.
I have in our list of podcast topics, and I'll do this one with Rob and anyone else who wants to join, but it's the title I put is, does having kids destroy your health and fitness goals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is obviously an embellishment. No, but it's very real as you trade all of that free time when I not have kids. It was like I worked out 5-6 days a week. I'd be at the gym for 2 hours, do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
That's just not the case. And I still struggle with that. Mm-hmm. Like there is not that freedom. It has to be scheduled.
Right. Yeah.
That could be another habit, but I mean, that's what I would say. If we're going to talk about another one is the habit of scheduling your workouts and that appointment with yourself.
Yes.
Your workout. That is the most important appointment of your day.
Or your appointment with Coach Blake or Coach Maddie or Coach Kira or Coach Elliot or Coach Rob or Coach... I'm just
any of the other phenomenal coaches here at Soda Personal Training.
Oh, I forgot Coach Ben. Sorry. Yeah. This did that be inclusive?
I need like a list of all the team members. I'm like, I'm forgetting somebody. But no, that's very real is, all the important things we have on our Google Calendar. There's my dentist appointment. There's my meeting with so-and-so from advertising, whatever it is. But for some reason we leave workouts to... it'll happen, I think, by chance. Are you joking? Of course it won't. Mm-hmm. So you got to get on the calendar. That's why I think sometimes 90% of what we do here is just the fact it's on the calendar. So that's where I got to be. I don't have to think about it anymore. Right. It's kind of done for me. I just have to get there.
Yeah.
So that I would say is a massive game changer.
Yep. Because if it's not on the schedule, it ain't going to happen.
No.
Or if it's not, it's
no.
not on your,
Just that's the mindset you need to have. If it's not on the calendar, it's not going to get done. If you consider yourself a busy person, that this to be true.
So speaking of mindsets, of calendars and busy people and things like that, are you looking at the time?
No, I'm looking at my
cup
of water because
you can
thirsty.
do the good habits. Let's go.
I'm
He's underhydrated.
Dehydrated.
Nah, can't be dehydrated. Okay, so I just thought of a huge one, which I almost forgot about. Yeah. And it's well, we've already kind of touched on it, but put down your damn phone, everybody. This is a health habit. Okay, your phone use and being disciplined with it is maybe the most important health habit that you can create right now for most people in 2025, because it's going to affect a lot of these other things that we just talked about. So, okay, you can go the blue light blocking glasses route if you're like me and you're like, I still want to watch reels before I go to bed. But a better habit would be to turn off the stupid thing 30 minutes before you go to bed, or put the damn thing in airplane mode, right? Or turn it off, put it away 30 minutes before you go to bed. Phil is literally texting. He's like, I'm just going to just text while you're talking.
I gotta shoot this quick text out. No, there's an app that I downloaded. I might have deleted it already, but it was an app that basically it has you set limits, right? Okay. It's I can only be on Instagram for 10 minutes. Or it had a function where you would have to do push-ups. There's a camera. I know. I just had to try it because I saw it on Instagram. Do you see how this all comes full circle? But it will measure your elbow and wrist angles, and it makes sure you do actually good quality push-ups. And I set it to the maximum level. So if for 20 push-ups, I would get 1 minute on Instagram, and it worked. I was just this is fun. And then I was like, I don't want to do 20 push-ups. I'm just not going to go on my phone.
Exactly. Well, this is what just happened, right?
Yes.
Is the phones have taken over our lives so much that you have downloaded another app to tell you to put it away.
Isn't it insane?
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Put the damn phone away.
It's horrible. I know.
What are we doing?
I know. You want a sobering fact, look at your screen time on your phone. It'll tell you all that. You don't want to know it. It'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
Awareness or assessment creates awareness. Awareness precipitates change. So if you look at that number, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm on my phone way too much. I bet it's double what everyone thinks it is.
Yep.
Okay. The amount of time we spend on it, if you're going to look at your entire life and you map out the amount of time you spend on your phone, you would throw that thing in the garbage. You'd smash it on the ground.
Correct.
So just pay attention to it.
Yeah. So see, here's the tricky part. And I have lots of physiological, somewhat scientifically backed reasons for why it's bad for you. But the tricky part is that most of us need to be on our phone. Because even here working in Phil's beautiful gym as a personal trainer, for some reason I need to have 6 apps on my phone related to this business when all we do is teach people how to push weights over their head. How did we get to this point? I don't know. Anyway, so we need it. We have to be on these stupid things throughout the day somewhat. So the trick is, all right, what do you have to do on there? Okay, obviously you have to do your business related stuff that happens on the phone. To a certain extent, you have to get back to those messages and emails and whatever. You obviously have to get back to your spouse or partner and send a million kiss emojis. You have to do that. Those are the two things that you have to do every day. Okay. All of the other stuff is just distraction. Okay. So how are you going to manage that? Well, that's up to you. You got to figure out, do you do like I'm trying to do right now, which is where I respond to all emails and all non-urgent messages from everybody once per day, and then only respond to the urgent stuff throughout the rest of the day? Do you have every 3 hours you kind of batch response, as I call it, where you go on there and you're like, okay, quick, get it done within 2 to 3 minutes, and then get back to the hopefully more productive things that you're doing, or the more enjoyable things you're doing throughout the day. Because nobody really, I don't think so, like nobody really likes to sit there all day and be like, no, I'm just doing this. Like, if you can see me in the camera right now, for the listeners, like I'm on the phone.
He's all crunched up.
I'm in the scrunched up, like praying mantis Tyrannosaurus Rex posture here, just like typing on this thing. This is terrible for my posture. I'm like scrunching my shoulders forward. And if you look at people, we don't even have necks anymore because our shoulders are all hunched forward because we're on this phone.
Sternum.
Yeah, like literally, right? Yeah. It's bad for your back. Being on these things, I will non-medically backed argue that it is bad for your heart and your blood pressure, because your heart rate tends to go up when you're sitting here on this thing sending messages all day. Your breathing rate tends to go up. We don't breathe as diaphragmatically. Is that a real word? We don't breathe as deeply when we're on these things. Like I've kind of like tested it out on myself. Okay. There's very little science. There's just bro science behind what I'm saying, but I think it's real. Like I think being on these things, the physiological and mental negatives that come from it are really, really bad. Yeah. And you just don't get anything done. And you just waste your life on the stupid phone.
Killer, and then we're dead.
Exactly.
We don't have that much time.
So listen to the Soda Personal Training podcast and then put the thing away. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably beating a dead horse. I think everyone probably knows, but I don't think anyone actually cares enough. But yes, I mean, get rid of the apps that are non-beneficial. The time delegation is a whole thing, but we are all horrible. And those phones literally are like just a little bucket of crack cocaine. And like, it feels good to keep scrolling. No, not that one. Ooh, that one's good. Yeah. And like, I do some more marketing, so I know what people have, like a 15-second attention span, but that means we can absorb so much more content. And it's like, oh, more. And then when you're done, just ask yourself, do I actually feel better? And the answer is probably no. We watched some old shows on our TV at home, another screen, and our girls are watching the show, and there's like these commercials, and like they're like, "What is this?" I was like, "It's a commercial." Like, we don't know how to be bored anymore. There's too much of the stimulus that we get to pick and choose from. So anyway. What other big ones do you have? Because we probably got, another 10 minutes.
Going out for a walk every day, which I kind of touched on, just walking, just moving the body. People think that that they need to do a massive 90-minute, apparently, workout like Phil does, and they need to lift weights in a gym for 90 minutes. Great. That can benefit you. But like just moving the body a little throughout the day, frequently, a 2-minute walk here and there, do some freaking jumping jacks, play with your kids for 2 minutes here and there. Like that'll do you probably just as good if you do that a little frequently throughout the day as a 60 or 90-minute workout will. People forget about that. Usually we go to the gym for an hour and then we're sedentary for 23 hours,
There's a lot of research by Dr. Rhonda Patrick, who I'm a huge fan of her stuff. Forgot her Instagram handle. Damn it, there I go again.
Oh, they'll find Rhonda Patrick.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying, on my phone I saw this thing. Yeah. but she had, I think they did some studies that like the blood sugar control, which is a big issue with movement or lack thereof. Blood sugar control is improved more when people did like 10 squats every 60 or 90 minutes than it was to walk for like 3 miles a day or something. So you got to break up into small doses. Like literally right now, if everyone listening, if you're sitting, if you get up and do 10 body weight squats, literally, if you just get up and like roll your shoulders a little bit and move, you're going to feel better acutely if you've got some pain going on. And if you can install it into your daily habits and rituals or attach it to something else that you're doing already, remember habit stacking, that adds up. It really, really does.
Yes. And if you're a little more advanced, instead of the squats, you could do a deconstructed burpee. Woo!
If you want an A+ in the Phil Jupp School of Fitness, but that could be weird depending on where you are. Don't do it like the bus stop.
Probably.
Or do, whatever.
For those of you listening, like, what the fuck is a deconstructed burpee? So we did.
If society was up to us, everyone would be wearing orange blocker glasses during the day and laying on the ground.
Not in the day, Phil. It's at night. Get it right.
No. There's got to be some benefits to the day.
No. This is outside is when you get the natural
fine.
light.
At dusk,
you do,
just for the effect.
Everybody, let's get it clear. We do a deconstructed burpee at the bus stop. You really think that many people listening to this ride the bus? We live in Minnesota. They have like one bus route.
I thought the whole world listened to us talk.
So all of you who listen to this, who ride the bus 4 times a day, do your deconstructed burpees right outside the bus stop, okay? Or just bodyweight squats. Christ.
I don't care what people do. You could throw a brick against the wall. Anything that keeps you moving is going to work in your favor, whether or not you do it in orange glasses. All right.
What we're referring to is the last episode we did where Phil was talking about like 5 best exercises for busy adults, and one of them was his deconstructed burpee. We got
Sean had some thoughts. You can listen to that episode if you'd like.
Yes. Yep. 5 best exercises for busy adults who are waiting at the bus stop.
That's right. I don't
know if any of mine can be done at the bus stop. That's the problem.
No, not unless you got a barbell in your backpack.
I'm not hating on people who take the bus, by the way. I'm sorry.
No. Wait,
It just got real offensive real quick.
Oh, no, I get it. Point is, everyone can do this. And actually, people taking the bus, you're probably moving more than people with cars. Because my car
you guys are all good. You don't
my
need
car is 10 feet away. So just walk everywhere you go in a metropolitan in a suburb and you're fine, right?
Correct.
Doesn't work that way. And that's a bigger topic we can cover. But
yeah.
societies makes it really convenient not to move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's very, very easy not to move. Mm-hmm. What other big ones do you have written down?
Well, I put bonding and family time. I mean, I wouldn't know much about that. Tell us about that, Phil. You already complained about your kids for 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, we went to Mexico for a week to not spend time with our kids.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking, but you want to have fulfilling relationships. You want to you got to spend time with loved ones that fill your cup. That's not work. Again, things that get you off your phone. If you have friends that, you're out to dinner and they're on their phone, like slap that shit out of their hand and be like, look, we have too much of this. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get you to slap that thing.
Oh yeah. I know if it was up to you, Sean, you would probably write our workouts on a rock with a stone.
I would. I'm sick of these stupid iPads. They're moving slow too. They're freaking slow.
In my defense, they're all to help track, assess, and delegate a lot of things that we're doing for efficiency here. Mm-hmm. But trust me, I don't like it either. But sometimes there is a necessary evil. I got off track. What was I saying?
Smack people's phones out of their hands. Bonding and family time. Family time. See, he can't think about family time. He's like, what are my kids' names?
Spend time with ones that you love. Like, think about the conversations you have where it's just you and another person, you're having a good meal. Like that is going to be, it's going to be really good for your just emotional health, which is what I think this ties to is like fulfillment. Because there's so much more to life than all the day-to-day nonsense we get swept up in constantly. If you ask like any person that's much older or on the door of death, if you ask them what they're proud of, what they remember, you think they're, well, on Candy Crush I got to level 200, right? Like it's quality time with loved ones. Money does not matter at that point, but what does matter is your health and the memories that you made during your lifetime. So if you want to live a fulfilling life, stop playing Candy Crush.
That's a cute sentimental note to end on. Money doesn't matter. Candy Crush doesn't matter. It's about health and family.
We need a little bit of everything. We can do it all. That is the point. As long as we're conscious of it. Yeah. Absolutely. But we all need a break from our kids too. And our spouses and sometimes ourselves. Ooh, too deep.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Yeah. Existential.
Awkward.
Practice these things. Get some water in. If you haven't had water today, get a glass in right now. Do 10 squats and plan out your next dedicated workout with us here at Soda Personal Training in Minnetonka on I-94 and Radio Drive. Any last minute thoughts here, Sean, before a Shane Co. commercial?
That's what it is. I'm like, what is he talking about?
Yeah,
that's not where we are, people. Okay,
don't go to Radio Drive.
Yeah, spend money on your health, not on a diamond.
That's right.
Anyway, let's see. No, I think we hit it all. Yeah. And if we didn't, then the trolls on the internet will talk shit about us.
Yeah, that's fine. We're not like a lot of these talks are very subjective based on our experience, not just with ourselves, but working with lots and lots of busy people who probably are very similar to the listeners here.
Yeah.
I think my last thought is, as we're talking through this, there's one common theme, and it's that damn phone. All of them are related to that phone. So if you're listening to this on your phone, keep listening until we're done. But then turn it off and then turn it back on for the next episode. But thank you for listening, everybody. Sean, any other closing thoughts?
No, thank you all for listening. Yeah, thanks, Phil.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Have a great rest of your day.